Gearing up for the popcorn moment, Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning, brought to you by the good people at Boer Remodeling. Really quick, we'll get into Boer. But if you're usually on the live stream and you're like, hey, there's no video on the live stream, I don't know what I've done wrong there. So I brought the live stream to the Facebook. So if you go to WIBC Facebook, you can see it right there. I should be there smiling every step of the way. The popcorn moment brought to you by Boer, Booher, BoerRemodeling.com. If it's inside your four walls, you go to Boer. Your kitchen, your bathroom, your basement. You want it to look good. You want it to look right. You want it to matter. Boer Remodeling, the best materials, the most skilled craftsmen, listening to you, understanding what it is you're trying to get done, and then making that happen. That's what they do, and they do it well. Their 5-step design process means it's easy, people. Very, very, very easy. They're listening to you, and then they're doing what you want done, and they're doing it professionally. And then the next thing you know, you've got a new kitchen, new bathroom, a basement that actually works for you and your family. It's pretty fantastic. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. They deliver quality work on time with a service-oriented attitude. Boer Remodeling, 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you, 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling, 852-5546, or online at Boer, Booher, BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go. It's a story you need to hear to believe, then grab your popcorn, because there is more. There it is. So I've got the live stream showing up on my YouTube channel, right? So that's Tony Katz, youtube.com/Tony Katz. You can go there. It should be on the YouTube for WIBC. So you make sure, on the Facebook for WIBC. So make sure you're over there as well. Yeah, weird tech issues. It happens. I feel bad, but that's all I can do about it. It's all I can do. I cannot do any more than that. I just feel bad. What do you want me to say? I wanted to get into, before we get into the clip, I wanted to get into a little bit about the redistricting. And you say to me, why, Tony, are you talking about redistricting? This has come and this is gone. Well, two things happened. First, a story in the IBJ about redistricting revenge. How we're starting to hear ads and see ads that are talking about those members of the General Assembly who did not favor redistricting and are now pushing for this or pushing their reelection, and how that isn't being taken too well by everybody. Because it's not, right? It's not being taken too well by everybody. There are some people who are angry and upset and bothered by what it is that happened. They're bothered by the idea that redistricting didn't happen. And okay, there are those who are part of Trump land who said we were going to come after you, and that's exactly what they're doing. We told you that if you don't redistrict, we're going to challenge you in a primary. And lo and behold, that's what's happening as we speak. Not surprised. Well, take that back. Actually, a little surprised that there's really money to do this. I think that a lot of people, certainly in the General Assembly, would have thought that this is bluster. But Monday, I was at the Hamilton County Lincoln Day dinner. Got invited, and it was lovely. Saw some people I didn't talk to, saw some people who didn't talk to me, saw some people who were absolutely joyous. Very, very nice time. Huge crowd for the Hamilton County dinner. 600, 700 people. It was huge, gigantic was the crowd there. Thrilled for them. Absolutely thrilled to see it. I'm hoping for those size crowds. I am speaking to the Madison County, their president's dinner on April 18th. In case you want to get that on the calendar. And then I'm going to Morgan County. And I am speaking to them at their Lincoln Day dinner on April 23rd. So we gotta do better, bigger than Hamilton County. Let's go make that happen. And there were a series of speakers. Riley Gaines was a speaker. Enjoyed hearing from her and the fight against madness and men and women's sports and those who want to, try and rip apart the fabric of society. And one of the speakers was Senator Jim Buck. Now, maybe I'm out of line for discussing something that took place at a Lincoln Day. I know that if I speak at a Lincoln Day, someone could quote me. I don't think there's any issue with me discussing something that I heard. If I had told you about what Riley Gaines said, there was no issue with that, right? I don't know Senator Buck personally. What I know is he is speaking, and the first thing he brings up is redistricting. And I said, I'm at this table of people, and I believe my words were, my God, what is he doing? Who advised Jim Buck that he should say, yeah, I voted against redistricting, and that was the right thing to do? What was the idea there? If your objective is, let's say, re-election, if your objective is unity in the Republican Party, you're talking about issues that bring people together. I have no idea where that room was regarding redistricting. Why in the world would you bring it up? It was such a bad idea. I think he referred to it as the elephant in the room. Why in the world would you bring it up? Such a bad idea. And for the record, not well delivered. My take on the entire room was, oh my gosh, when is he going to stop talking? That was my talk. That was my take on his talk. That was the whole view. How many more Republicans are going to misread the room and believe whatever it is their spouse or their kids or their staff tells them as somehow real life? It's not real life. Real life is you didn't fight. Real life is you don't want to fight. And real life is you're proud of not fighting. And you don't have the common decency to shut your mouth. If there was anything that I thought someone could say, okay, I'm done voting for a guy who's been in the Indiana State Senate since 2008, it was this. It was this. No interest, thank you. None whatsoever. It was not good. It was not good at all. I didn't mean for the whole popcorn moment to be that, but I had to share it with you because I couldn't believe it was happening. I swear to you, I will get to some popcorn moment stuff at 7:45. We're not done yet. Matt Bear has traffic. What's going on, Matt? You do not have to live with the pain, the discomfort, your knees and your hip and your back that's stemming from your foot. And the Good Feet store understands it because this is what they do. You got to speak to their arch support specialist, and then you got to actually try them. Talk to these people at the Good Feet store because, well, this is kind of what they do. And you realize that you're not getting the support in your feet. Your arches aren't getting the support. There are 4 arches in your foot. You didn't know this. Their arch support specialists understand that without that support, your whole body is out of alignment. You're out of whack, and therefore you feel pain in your knees and your hip and your lower back, and your whole day is completely ruined by this. With the Good Feet store, that can change. And they will talk to you. They'll take a look at you. They'll see how you stand. They'll check out your feet. And then they'll say, here, try this. And they've got this 3-step system, all made in the USA from 100% US origin materials. And you first try it on, you're like, that's weird as hell. And it is. And then you keep doing it. And you keep working the system from the strengthener to the maintainers to the relaxers. And what you will find over time, not too much time, you start feeling better. That feeling that was weird is now massaging, and everything has the opportunity to get back in alignment. Your day is better, your energy is better, your feeling is better, your mood is better, your life is better. It all starts with your feet. Talk to the Good Feet store today. Good Feet has 2 Indy area locations at Clearwater at the Crossing and in Greenwood, just off of 65. Online at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. So, first of all, hi, welcome. I'm Tony Katz. I never stream here in the morning. So the morning show is having an issue with its streaming. And so I'm like, all right, I'll bring it here. I'll check it out. See what we can do, if only for a little while. I couldn't send it weirdly, so it won't go now to the WIBC Facebook. I don't know what the problem is there. I wonder if I can try that again. They fixed what, Producer Carl? So what do you want me to do, Producer Carl? Okay, so I should leave now. We should go back to our other stream. Okay. So that was quick. I'm told it's now working where it's supposed to work. So if you go to YouTube and you go to WIBC, now everything allegedly will work. We're going to find out. You know what? I'm going to do both. I'm going to do both, Producer Carl. Let's see what we can do here. So that worked. Carl, you're not that busy. So it's not working. Okay. Then we're here. All right. So we'll take the quick break right now because we're in break right here. So that's going to happen. A little more breaks for this show. We'll go from there. Actually, no, I'll probably stay right here. I don't know why I couldn't connect to YouTube's to YouTube from StreamYard. Not sure why that is. Let me see if I can add. Let's see. All right, it says it's there for Facebook WIBC, but then it tells me it has an error. Maybe it's WIBC. Trump created a mess in Texas. I don't know what this means, $2. Do you want your $2? I want my $2. Or did you donate $2? Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. Wow. Much appreciated. Yeah, it won't let me stream to Facebook. I can stream to my Facebook. I can't stream to WIBC's Facebook. Oh. I tried. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that you like the show very, very much. I do it for you. And only you. Everybody else, dead to me. Just that easy. No. You try again. I don't do that. You nutters. You kooks. So I got to put something together for the show. Pacers do like losing. Right. All right, we've got ourselves 23 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:36. So the one thing that's different about this feed than the normal morning show feed is that you can't hear the morning show. You can't hear the stuff from the station. You don't get any of that. It's just the way the connection is. So if I start streaming the morning show ever, it's me. It's my stuff, right? Any audio that I play, you can hear. Otherwise, no, you cannot. So there's that. But I can show what's on the marketplace. And let me tell you, it's very weird. Look at that thing. Does that make sense to anybody? Nightmare fuel. All right, let's come back. Today on the marketplace, flat out nightmare fuel. Although I think people know what this is. I've just never heard of it. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. During downtime, clearing my head, getting ready for what's next on the show, I find myself on Facebook Marketplace. Cool stuff, odd stuff, weird stuff, strange stuff, odd stuff, all there on the marketplace. I bring it to you, the marketplace segment brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's your cash. Go get it. We're talking about a dividend. We're talking about a refund. We're talking about some reason someone's trying to get dollars to you and they don't know where to put a final paycheck, it ends up with the attorney general, and the attorney general is trying to get it to you. IndianaUnclaimed.gov, fast, easy, free to use. Go to IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text my name, Tony. Text my name, Tony, to 46220 and go get your money. Matt Baer joins us right now. Oh, Matthew. I am staring at something that is going to give me nightmares for forever. No, it's not. It's not in my house, and that's my point. This is not going to be in my house. Matt, is there a cartoon character that I don't know called Ratfink? No. I'm not talking about like manga or whatever you weirdo Japanese anime you watch that you pay for by the minute. I'm talking about like just a general like maybe a Cartoon Network kind of cartoon. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy. Yes. Oh, it was a comic. I got it. And yes, you can go to ratfink.com and there's the comic right there, because this, Matthew, is very ugly. This is a concrete Ratfink statue. Stands 13 inches tall. I have it posted on the Twitter X. And if you're watching the live stream over at TonyKatz.com, we're trying to fix some live streams so it's still streaming. There's a photo of it. It's freaky, ugly, weird. It has giant ears, massive feet. It's got these massive, like, blocked off toes, and they're all the same length. It's like Nigel. Have you ever seen Nigel's feet? Frightening. And the eyes, just the buggy weirdo eyes that are happening right there. And people will be like, hey, this is like a house gnome. I'll put it in the front yard. Right. Okay. I should be a little more clearer. Ratfink is connected to hot rodding. And there's a guy by the name of Big Daddy Roth, who's a legend, one of the founders of custom culture, creates one-of-a-kind hot rods and created Ratfink. So that's what Ratfink is. Ratfink is connected to the world of hot rodding. Now I understand, and I like that. And thank you to the chat room for letting me know which end is up there. This thing is ugly as sin, and you can have this concrete statue for $50. In the front door, bedroom nightstand staring at you while you sleep. That's where it would be. Is that a no, Matt? It's too bad. Okay, wimp. Yeah, it's got some googly eyes. Yeah. Oh, it's watching you right now. It's yours if you want it. It is there at the marketplace. You should check it out for yourself. And if you get it, if you do us a favor and just let us know so we don't come visit, it'd be great. Matt and I would like to politely decline your request as you invite us to the Arbor Day party. Arbor Day party. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Mortgage rates have dropped, expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building as we move into spring. Now is the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. Time to call Mark Dietel, the proven expert to sell your home. Maybe what you need to do is maximize price. Mark will bring your home to market with unmatched exposure. Mark Dietel is the real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You just pick the move date. No long-term contracts. You cancel anytime you want. Angie in Fairland said, I was handling my mother's estate and needed to sell the home I grew up in. It was emotional for me, but the Dietel team handled the listing and repairs, secured a buyer, and sold the home after just 9 days on the market, stress-free. Mark Dietel and his team made a challenging situation simple and successful. Call right now the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. That's Mark Dietel. Give a call today. 317-755-4232. Get all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com. So did the live stream not work over there on YouTube? Carl? Okay. They're still working on it. Okay. All right, man. Good enough. I have to figure out how I get it shouldn't be hard, right? Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, he's in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on? We've got 23 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 7:45. So how this works, right? You can't hear the station, but I can hear the station in my ear. Is that I'm connected through a system called Comrex, standard in radio. And I'm connected to the station, and then the station feeds back to me. So I get all the station feed in my ear. Now, I could take that and bring it into my computer. I think I can go directly into the computer and then just grab that audio. Because if I bring it back into the soundboard, right, my microphone, that's what you're hearing, because I'm connected to you that way. So I could bring it back that way, but then we're going to be doubling up. So how do you fix that doubling up? Now, in the parlance, that's referred to as the mix minus. How do you hear me but not hear the other things? And I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to do that part just yet. I don't know how I bring that to you. How do I bring you that audio? And I don't know. So I use StreamYard. So if anybody knows, I'm interested. I can't just put it into another microphone, but I would still hear me. That's the problem. I would still hear me. And how would we eliminate that? It would still double up for you. Now, the other way to do it is do not bring the audio to you, right? Go through the station, come back and bring you the whole audio together. The problem is, what will be the delay between me speaking and then the audio coming back? Because you got to send it and come back. Now, it happens very, very quickly, but still it's still some level of a delay. How do you fix that? Now, you say isolate the mic. Isolate the mic. How? What does that mean? Don't talk in code with me. Don't give me tech terms. Explain the tech term. Put the microphone in one from one board and the station from another. But how do I bring it in? Do I bring it back to a one board that connects everything? Okay. If you speak to me in 3-word sentences again, I'm going to come to where you live and I'm going to hit you with a fish. Don't do that. What are you doing? You're not making, you can't talk. This is not a text message. You actually have to make sentences here in order for me to understand. No. Whatever you do, kitten. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Gotcha. The answer is it's not the output of the mic. It would have to be the output of the station. And if I send the station back in, are we now going to have a delay between what I'm saying and the video? That's the question. Got to try some things, though. See what I can do. So allow me to reiterate that the woke right has jumped the shark. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. It is the resignation of this guy, Joe Kent, a name you may have never heard of, is a perfect showing of how absolutely lost this group of people is. They aren't just anti-war, whatever that is supposed to mean. They are playing a part. Joe Kent was running counterterrorism. That's Joe Kent. He has resigned because I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war, and Iran posed no imminent threat. Joe Kent has posts that discuss him saying that Iran is a threat, that Iran is the enemy, that Iran is a problem, that Iran has to be dealt with. Now, this was Sean Ryan's show. I don't think there's any cursing in here, producer Carl, but finger on the dump button just in case. This was a few weeks ago, a couple months ago.
They're still registering for the draft, aren't they? Like that's the logical conclusion to the direction that we're heading in right now, unless we make some serious changes.
I mean, I've already heard rumors that Fifth Group is going to be sending guys to Iraq because of the escalated situation with Iran now.
Yeah. I mean, most Americans aren't aware of it. Our troops in Iraq and Syria have been attacked 150 plus times by Iranian proxies. And when we say Iranian proxies, we got to be clear on what that is. That's the Iraqi government that we pay. Because after the Iraqi military, we spent $2 trillion on, surrendered to ISIS, we had to go back in there in very short order and stand the military back up again. And guess who filled the breach? The Shia militias controlled by Iran did.
Maybe Iran is a problem. But you were saying that just a 3 months ago, that was. And now you have to resign? Now you have to walk away? Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing ever? There's a series of stories here about Joe Kent, about being left out of war planning, about being dismissed, the possibility that he may have leaked information, that he supports a tremendous number and promotes conspiracy theories. If you were opposed to going into Iran, you waited 18 days post the very first bombing, D+18, to say this is unconscionable. And then the first thing you do is schedule interviews with Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Photos of you, Joe Kent, at Tucker Carlson's Christmas party. You're a Tucker Carlson puppet. What? That's how we do this terminology now, right? If you're okay with taking out the Iranian terrorism regime, you're just a puppet of Israel. Well, Joe Kent is a Tucker Carlson puppet. Now, I don't have any word yet of whether it's a marionette or it's, where the hand goes up in. I don't know. I don't know how this puppet thing works. Forgive me. I never studied it. But this is a massive jump the shark moment where this is not somebody acting on conviction, is it? No, this is somebody acting on opportunity. 18 days. There's a story here, and I'm going to bring it to you on Tony Katz today at noon. You may want to be tuned in, and there'll be some angry people. That's okay. We'll help them. Matt Bear has traffic. All right. I hate it when I don't have enough time. I really do. So here's what's going on. So we go into the break, and I'm going to go take a break, and then I'll be back, and we will continue right here. So that's the story. So hang loose, smoke them if you got them, as I often say. Do that right there. I don't know. Is this a wider shot of the studio? Might be a wider shot of the studio for some. Right there. Do we want to discuss what a liar Ted Lieu is? Hasn't this already been debunked? That's what I thought. But really nice that you would bring it our way. Oh my gosh, you got deleted. How did that happen? Guys, I'll be back in a little bit. Keep it here. So Ukraine is not being dumb. Now, it's not that Zelensky hasn't done some dumb things before. Oh, he certainly has. But offering up drone help to the United States to help them in the fight with Iran, very smart. Did I say hello? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be here. Good to be with you. The drone conversation, I think, has gotten a little bit blown out of proportion. But the argument of, man, it's costing us a lot of money to take out these drones from the Iranians that don't cost much at all. That's true. That's true. If a drone can be manufactured for a few $1,000s and the way we take it out costs a few $100,000, that's not cost effective. And one of the things that we did is we spoke to Chuck DeVore, the Texas Public Policy Foundation, the other day, is that, well, we determined that helicopters with mounted machine guns is pretty effective. Just because it's low tech doesn't mean it's the wrong tech. What Ukraine is saying, Zelensky is saying, is we have had extremely good results through experience because of Russia's invasion in dealing with these drones, specifically the Shahad drones. These are Iranian designs. Russians have been using them, and we have found effectiveness in taking out those drones. We have found effectiveness in dealing with this insanity. So you have President Trump saying, where in the world is the help from other nations regarding the Strait of Hormuz and oil shipments? You're the people who need the oil. And now Trump then said, we don't even need your help. Not surprised by this. I stated yesterday, I said it again this morning, that it's not surprising these nations don't want to be seen as being led by the nose. They don't want to be seen as somehow not being capable of handling themselves. Rather, what they want to do is be able to be strong to where their voters are. All politics are local. Zelensky sees this as an opportunity because Zelensky, where one of the major miscalculations was that Zelensky did not engage this as a conversation of Russia is an invading force for all the world, and we are the tip of the spear. Help us defeat this Russian threat so it can always stay defeated. We will always be there to fight it for you if we have your help. This is how Israel's couched a lot of its language. But Zelensky didn't do that. Zelensky said, thank you for the help. Why aren't you helping more? What's wrong with you? Didn't know how to massage that story. Didn't know how to properly engage his positioning. What he is saying now is, we've had the experience of dealing with this. And, quote, whenever it is possible for us to help defend civilians or U.S. nationals without second thought, we sent our teams. We are prepared to help. We want to help. I would like to ask the U.S. not to perceive Ukraine as a country that merely asks for help, he wrote on X. Rather, quote, that is not the case. Ukraine is defending interests and values. And that's called learning, children. Now, some people, like in the chat room, are noting Ukraine wants to help so they don't get cut off from the United States. Correct. Absolutely, this is a move in their own best interest. We surprised by this too? I am only amazed that they're learning. That's the impressive part. A lot more show to get to. Keep it right here. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Guys, welcome back. Good to be with you. So I put that's what I usually do during the breaks during the midday show. And I had to do it because I'm having breakfast. And I try unless I'm food tasting for like eat, drink, smoke, I try not to eat on air because that's weird. That is very, very weird. And if you're asking, breakfast burrito. So we had some meatballs in the house. We had some peppers and onions. So it's in with the eggs. It's wrapped up. Gave the burrito a little fry. Delicious. And you're like, Tony, did you do that during the earlier break? Yes, I did. I am able to now create breakfast in about 6.5 minutes. I've gotten very good at this. Now, I know I could probably like prepare something, but no. Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, he's in the WIBC Traffic Center. He's looking amazing today. What's up, Matthew? $23 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:15. Call Gary Dick if you would. And I will have not gotten to a popcorn moment today. Mrs. Katz gets a tremendous amount of credit, but I do make my own breakfast because I kind of like, I don't pre-think it. I'm like, what am I moving for right now? Just out of my way. Let me do my work and get back to it. Because I'm cooking, but I'm also thinking about what's next, right? It's like how I handle the marketplace. Like I'm looking, but I'm thinking about what's next. That is it right there. Let's see what else we've got going on. Thank you. Oh, okay. Very happy to see President Trump go after the commercial driver's licenses of illegal immigrants. This is important. I'm happy to see what Senator Banks has been discussing on this subject. And I've noticed that there is not much pushback on this, well, from anybody. I mean, there might be some usual suspect people, but in the main, why should somebody here illegally have a commercial driver's license and put Americans at risk? That's crazy talk. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be here. Good to be with you. Up to 200,000 truckers could lose their licenses. The new rule means that unless you've got a temporary agriculture worker's a permit or visa, an H-2A, an H-2B, or an E-2, it's not going to happen. It includes barring asylum seekers, anybody who's DACA or TPS, temporary protected status, no commercial driver's licenses. Yes, there will be people on the progressive left to be like, oh, Trump can't do this. It's a weird thing when they say the president can't do. We have the setup in the Constitution to say what the president can and can't do. But things that are clearly in the purview of the president, the left kind wants to think that somehow that's the stuff that's problematic. I don't care if they're happy. You know, it's like my conversation regarding the woke right. How many people screaming at me and yelling at me? Look at my social media feeds. Oh, you're just a puppet of Israel. Oh, you're just I'm paid for by Mossad. Do you think these people matter? You can all kiss my stuff. What the hell is wrong with you? Silly little children. I bring up this Joe Kent story. This guy who ran counterterrorism, who was resigned because this war is unconscionable and Iran was not an imminent threat. 18 days afterwards, you resign, and then immediately you have interviews with Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, and then you're going to show up at the Catholics for Catholics conference where Candace Owens is speaking. Oh, and this woman who was on the this religious liberty committee who said, well, the real problem is just Zionism. Zionism this, Zionism that. She's been a Catholic for like an hour and a half, right? She's some famous convert, and all of a sudden she knows everything and you know nothing, and she's telling you what a real Christian is and all that jazz. It's about the money, right? It's about the money. Joe Kent, you did it for the money. Some people do it all for the nookie. I'm questioning whether you did it all for the money. The whole thing. You and Tucker and Candace and Megyn Kelly, this is about cash, right? You think this is where the audience is. This is where the younger people are. You really need that 20-something audience because you want to survive this. You want to grow that. You want to build that. You don't want to engage a policy or a philosophy. Conservatism, right out the window. Where's the cash grab? That's what it looks like. I can't tell you if that's definitive. I can tell you that I know a jump the shark moment when I see one, and the woke right is right now sailing in their Fonzie skis right over the Great White. It's real. By the way, the Great White, which is also, no, that's a bad joke. That's a bad joke. That's a wrong, I'd like to apologize. There will be people who want to support the idea that an illegal immigrant should be able to have a commercial driver's license and doesn't matter that Americans get killed on Hoosier roadways. Because their objective is not even the support of the illegal immigrant. Their objective is the destruction of Western civilization. And sometimes the payment is not dollars. We've talked about this for years. The very concept of something called reputation capital. Why do people do the things that they do? Some people because they believe it. Some people because it gives them an opportunity. It's the idea of, oh, woe is me. Look at this bad thing that happened to me. Oh, how terrible. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Gabriel Zevin. Is it Zevin? An author. And she has a book called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And I don't know her at all. I can't tell you about her other writings. I can't tell you about her politics or anything else. But in this book, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, she writes a line, I'm paraphrasing here, that the people don't try and overcome their trauma. They are all about their trauma. And it goes to the line of how can one overcome their trauma when it's the most interesting thing about them? And I don't know if she realized how heavy of a line that is when she wrote it, but how outrageously true it is outside of anything else I may not know about her politics, anything else, how true of a line that is. That people don't overcome trauma. Their trauma becomes their story. Their trauma is the thing that they lead with. Overcoming trauma means you got on with your life, but exalting and glorifying your trauma, well, that is how you can get paid. I, for years, have used the line, I haven't used it much on the show, I admit. Before, I have used it on the morning show years ago, and I haven't used it recently. How do you heal the racial divide when the wound is so profitable? Al Sharpton made all his money, all his fame. Take a look at Black Lives Matter. You must have the thing, not an overcoming of the thing. For Joe Kent and this woke right crowd of absolute losers who are wrong about how you keep a country safe and sure as hell wrong about the idea that Israel forced America into this, dragged them into this, controlled by Israel. It's so dumb. But I'm utilizing their terms and terminology. Joe Kent is a Tucker Carlson puppet. It's all he is. It's all he'll ever be. 18 days after a war began, and now you're saying the threat wasn't imminent. This wasn't necessary. Oh, dear Lord. You support these crazed kind of podcasts. There's a whole story there about this dude's wife and what his wife favors and supports. This isn't a guy I'm supposed to take with any level of respect. His change of heart is outrageously suspect. You go back to looking at tweets of Joe Kent talking about how the United States should absolutely eliminate the Iranian regime. Just rip it apart. He's all about it. For years, he is all about it. And now all of a sudden, Iran is fine and we're the problem. It's laughable. There's a reason for it. You've got Senator Mark Warner, Democrat. I didn't support Kent's nomination, yet I'm glad he is willing to acknowledge the truth. There was no imminent threat to the United States, and this war is a terrible idea. Even Trump's greatest MAGA advocates can see this war is stupid, costly, and deadly. When will Trump? Talk about a group of people who are desperate to see America lose. Mark Warner, the Democrat, the senator, wants it because he thinks it helps him politically. He doesn't care about the troops. He doesn't give a damn. He wants political power. But it used to be that Joe Kent was a terrible person, and now he's a great person. Well, I guess that's just human nature. Human nature matters a lot when you don't have a code, when you don't have a consistency. Human nature is, where's the opportunity? Where am I safer? Where he was already being frozen out of the administration decisions. So what did he do? Oh, there's an opportunity over here. And his wife is already in his ear because there's stories about her and her absolute hatreds for Israel, Jews, whatever the case may be. Tucker Carlson puppet. That's it. That is it. Here's where the opportunity is. I think that is what we're looking at. And man, is this bad stuff for the woke right, because this isn't a foundation based on something of true a true basis, a true structure. This is opportunity. That's what you're doing. You think younger audiences have been skewed to be anti-Israel, and you think that's where the money is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just looking at the data. Matt Bear has traffic. What's going on, Matthew? A $200 million buyback in mortgage securities, and there's a new rate-friendly Fed chair. It's coming this spring, and these moves intended to push mortgage rates lower. The last time rates dropped, we saw a selling and buying frenzy. It's a good time to prepare to sell your home and call the expert, Mark Dietel. Whether you're buying or selling and you want fast or maximum cash, Mark Dietel has the proven plans to sell your home based on your needs, guaranteed. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Heath in Indianapolis said we were preparing for our new build and needed our old home sold at a specific time. Mark Dietel's team listed it strategically and sold it in just 4 days for full price. Their expertise made our move smooth and stress-free. Guys, call the local Indianapolis agent. Trusted and recommended. The agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel today. 317-755-4232. Get all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, Dietel, markdietel.com. All right, we're in break. I'm going to take a little break here. I'll be back in a bit. Guys, welcome back. Good to be with you. The show is doing news right now. We will get into Philip on the news, get an update on what's going on with markets and a whole bunch of other good stuff. Let's see who sent me some Facebook messages today. Oh, that's a good one. That's good. Someone sent me an image. Hold on, let me get this. Let me see if I can show up. Someone did some good AI creation right here. Let's see. Let me see if I can grab this. No, downloads. Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Oh, okay, that's that. All right, I get it now. This would be here. Yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good, right? Someone created that? That's pretty solid. I mean, I look like Billy Mays there, but still. We have got 23 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. The time is 8:36. All right. Coming back to it. How soon? Okay. So really quick, producer Carl. If you say it really fast, does it mean it happens really fast? There it is. That now at least I can understand you. Carl talks quick. Super quick. I got to figure out how to get the sound from the station back in. We're going to rename the whole show. It's going to be the Great American Morning Show with Tony Katz and Ann B. Davis as Alice. Oh. Gold and silver are down. I'm having a little trouble doing that math. I'm pulling out of precious metals to get into oil because you feel that there's an opportunity. Is that what I'm seeing? You think there's no longer an inflation threat or a recession threat? Dow futures are up 4. Oh. Well, today's going to be a day, kids. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Dow futures are now down 1, and I think you're going to see it fall. You also have an interest rate decision today. NASDAQ futures are up 2.5. You have oil prices at $96.49 on the West Texas crude. That is the barrel price. We have seen this go up because of the action in Iran. You have Brent crude at $105.90 a barrel. You've got the 10-year treasury at 4.206. Gold is down. $4,886 an ounce now is the bid price. Silver at $78.02. And I was looking at this just a few moments ago, and I said, this number doesn't make any sense to me. You telling me there's no longer an inflationary threat? You really believe that's under control? We have the Fed coming out with a decision on interest rates today, which, well, could be the whole reason some of these things are down. You think that there's no more recession risk? If there are people who feel that the Strait of Hormuz is shut down too long, they'll tell you that it's going to bring a recession. Bitcoin is down to 72,814. No, the number I'm paying attention to. I am so curious to see how this plays out. Wholesale prices are up 0.7%. The producer price index is up 0.7. That's the quick number. The expectation was 0.3. I'm staring at the numbers right now. This is the producer price index. So February, see, this doesn't make any sense. How do you argue that this is 0.7? Here, I'm sorry, February 2026. There it is. 0.7 less, and the core is 0.5. So now it's costing us more to manufacture things? Is this the tariff effect in full play? And how does the market react to this? They like what they're seeing? That wouldn't make any sense to me. You've got the Fed that's going to come out today with an inflation report, and you've got a wholesale price report that says the inflation is here. Now, hold on. Let me go back to the gold prices. Still 48.83 on the gold, 77.87 on the silver. Not an expert. I can read. And what I'm reading is this number is not good. Not good at all. I'm not sure how the White House spins. Maybe there's a part of this I need to take a second look at. Maybe a breakdown of the report tells us more than just a top line number. All things possible. But the Dow is now down 67 in the futures, and the NASDAQ is down 44. Reaction to this report is coming, and we will watch it here. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Carl, thank you so much. Yeah, this is the studio. This is what we built. And that brick was the original outside of the house. So I was not about to get rid of that at all. And then this gray wall here, this is what boxes out the bathroom. So that is a full bath in there. Although I don't have it set up as a full bath yet. I have it plumbed, but I don't have the shower set up yet. I use it as storage right now. So that's that. Yeah, I'll do a tease there, producer Carl. Coming up on Tony Katz today, how the woke right has jumped the shark. The bombing continues on Iran's threat on the Strait of Hormuz, and some really weird economic numbers. After the news at noon on 93 WIBC. That's how I do it, guys. That's how we do the tease. And we play it throughout the morning so people listen to the midday show. Dow futures are now down 111. Oh, yeah. War is hell. But I want to know what's causing this. This is not the hit on Iran. This is something else. So Ken is asking, if we're about to play America's favorite game, what the heck is that television theme song? How are you going to hear it here? And this is just it. I don't have a way to do it. I got to figure it out. How do I bring back the sound? And I think one of the things I should do is just bring back the sound. Meaning, but it goes to the board to play the sounders. And now come back with the sound to I'd have to take a return and bring it into the laptop. Bring it into the desktop. How do you do that? How in the world do I do that? Get headphones out and then bring it into a headphones out into a headphone jack. Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, he is in the WIBC Traffic Center. What's going on? I can bring it in via USB and do the audio that way. So I do everything still through the board as I do it, and sound effects through the board. But I'm playing the sound effect on the laptop. Do I have to play the sound effect somewhere else? Well, no, just come out of somewhere else so they'll hear it that way. Still cold out there. Don't blame me. 26 degrees, feels like 15 degrees in the American Standard Heating Weather Center. But this weekend will be in the 70s because we chose to live in Indiana, and we are lucky to do it. The time is 8:46. I think I know what this is. It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that television theme song? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. And we are watching what's going on with the Dow futures, which is now down 115 based on this PPI report, producer price index, wholesale prices going up 0.7% in February. Producer Carl, you've met producer Carl, heck of a guy, swing dancer. He has selected a television theme song from yesteryear. I have to guess what it is. I'm allowed to phone a friend. That's Matt Barrett's of no help. And I'm allowed to utilize the chat room. They are able to assist as well. I thought I knew what it was, and some people in the chat room are like, no, it's something else. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're right. So first, let me phone a friend. Matt Bear, what is this television theme song? That's not Babylon 5. So I will tell you, this is not my guess, producer Carl, because the chat room, I think, is coming in for the save. I was originally going to go, first thought gut was Rockford Files. But no, the chat room corrected me, disabused me of that notion. Producer Carl, this is the theme song to Simon and Simon. Chat room victory right there. Chat. Chat room, yeah, they don't get out much. They watch this show on the live stream, and then they watch TV, and then it's like PCU. There's always a Michael Caine or Gene Hackman film on, and so that's what they're doing. They're trying to get their thesis completed. On Tony Katz today at noon, we'll take a look at what's going on with these wholesale prices. We will find out possibly about interest rates and whether or not they are going to change. Then you have the U.S. hitting Iran on the shoreline to eliminate their ability to attack tankers to get oil moving in the Strait of Hormuz, 27% of the world's oil, but not 27% of America's oil. Some reports say 1 or 2%. Why does it matter so much? Well, if you're going to go after Iran and disrupt other people getting oil, they might be bothered. So you now have to move to open the strait. And that's clearly the move. But we are going to dig in on the losing moment for the woke right, the silliness of their argument. And what happens when you don't start with a core position? Do you know how okay it is to think that taking out Iran is a mistake? You can have that position. You can. You just have to be able to back it up. You can't back it up by, well, you know what the Jews did. That's where it all falls apart. And I believe we can prove this. I believe that the resignation of Joe Kent is exactly the jump the shark moment of the Tucker Candace, Megyn Kelly woke right set. Because no one sticks around for 18 days if they believe they are the puppet of another nation. And puppet of another nation. So when other people like Joe Kent, who ran counterterrorism, decides to resign, he's just a puppet of Tucker Carlson. That's all he is. That's all he is. Look how easily he can be dismissed. I can dismiss all of them now. Bye, Felicia. Just so easy. The difference between them and me is that I have actual data points, theories, philosophies that I can attribute these things to. What do they have other than we're desperate for an audience? And is that what all this is about? Grabbing the younger audience for relevance into the future? Or is this about real, true belief? We will get into that on Tony Katz today at noon. I do want you to join me then. And can I discuss the most disqualifying thing I have ever heard in a candidate? This is James Tallarico, who is running for Senate in Texas. This is him a couple years ago. And it was during the COVID days, and he's wearing a mask, so you know that he's serious. And he's wearing a jacket that I'm pretty sure belonged to his dad. Doesn't look like it's the most fitting thing, but hey, that's me engaged in fashion conversations. And he's talking about how his team is all vegan.
We have, I think, heard more and more issues of animal welfare. I think not just because it's the right thing to do and the moral thing to do, but also it's, as all of you know, necessary to fight climate change. It is now existential that we try to reduce our meat consumption and that we try to respect animals in all aspects of society. And so I am proud to say that our campaign has officially become a non-meat campaign. So we are only buying vegan products from our local vegan businesses. Some of you may know Big Nona's. They were.
I don't know Big Nona at all. And if you want to be vegan or vegetarian, go live your life. That is not for me to be concerned with. But you're running for Senate in Texas. You hit people with climate change is real and an existential threat, not Iran, climate change. And then you say, meat bad? In Brisket, Texas? immediately disqualifying. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. He should lose by 1 billion votes. There should be 0 votes. 0 votes for James Tallarico based on this. Some of my chat room is saying this was in the past. Why would he bring up Iran? Work with me. I am stating that the left thinks that Iran isn't an existential threat, but somehow climate change is. That is a silly, childlike argument with no basis in fact. These are the same people telling me that we were going to have ocean levels above what building in 12 years, 12 years to survive. We were gonna have a totally melted Arctic, and now we now have more ice than before. As silly of an argument as James Tallarico saying "Go vegan" in Texas. I'll catch you guys at noon. Matt Bear has traffic. Guys, good to see you. Weird way to do the show today. But I love that you're here. I don't know. Maybe we'll do this more often. Maybe we'll do it this way. I don't know. Might rename the show. Maybe we'll change the whole show. I'm up for changes. Sometimes they're fun. Catch me at noon here. And don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, Tony Katz. I'd appreciate it if you would. I got to run. Got to get ready for what's next. I'll catch you tomorrow, guys. Take care.